so much. So the pressure on moderator increases when you have your session right before the lunch. And most of you have been waiting for your lunch since past couple of hours. So I hope this session will not lose your attention. I'll try to make it more interesting because we have a very nice set of panelists sitting right here on the dais. So on behalf of ET Government, the Economic Times, I once again welcome all the eminent panelists to this very meaningful and very informative panel discussion. And the topic today is digital strategy at PSUs in making way for self-reliant and remain globally competitive. So to begin with, I'll start with Madam Manju Sharma. She represents an organization called Government E-Marketplace, which is a very pertinent organization in terms of procurement of public goods. While we are discussing about digital strategy of various PSUs, it is very pertinent to understand, while India has set target to achieve $5 trillion goal by 2025, many PSUs, central PSUs, state PSUs, they are investing heavily on digital, but to making way to self-reliant and also becoming globally competitive, they need to spend more and they need to have a very resilient, very agile strategy. Looking at the past 2.5 years of COVID-19. So coming directly to you, ma'am, at GEM, what has been the digital strategy to remain globally competitive? And also, what has been your experience of foraying into self-reliant or Atma Nirbhar Bharat? Over to you.
Thank you, Arpit. So I think now everybody knows about GEM, and because the total procurement of a country is about 15 to 20% of GDP. So it becomes more imperative that we should have more transparent, more paperless or digital platforms so that it is possible for all the stakeholders across the country, maybe to the remotest places, who can come on the platform and can do their business. So with a view to achieve this goal, GEM was established in 2017, and now after long 4-5 years, so we have reached such a stage that in spite of many challenges, we are able to serve most of the buyers and sellers. And we have during last financial year, GEM has achieved the target of even cross 1 lakh crore transaction value. And till today, the total transaction has reached to 2.5 lakh crore. So it is a huge achievement for such a wide reaching platform. But it is not, still we have to achieve the target of maybe 7,000 or 6 lakh crores. So to keeping in view, GEM has taken many initiatives keeping in view the Atma Nirbhar Bharat and our Make in India policies of Government of India. So GEM has a platform called Womania, which enables women entrepreneurs from the informal sector to sell handicrafts and handlooms, accessories, jute and coir products, and otherwise which is very difficult for small entrepreneurs or self-help groups or handloom producers to reach out to the other cities or maybe across the country. It is very difficult for them. And now with this portal, they are able to onboard their products and they can showcase their products on GEM. And GEM has called a startup runway platform, wherein any startup which is has innovative products or any kind of products, because they have financial problems, so they can, instead of going for their marketing expenditure, they can directly showcase their products on GEM portal. And now similarly for Saras Collections, dedicated portal for daily utility products made by self-help groups is already set up, and artisans, weavers, bamboo products, and other for MSC, especially for the MSCs, which is otherwise difficult for them to reach out to government buyers, and they face lot of difficulties in supplying those products and handling with payments with government buyers. So GEM is enabling them to go for easy ease and doing their business on GEM portal. So finally, GEM is moving consistently towards vision of our Honorable Prime Minister to connect with last mile stakeholders. 2-3 days back, we have signed an MOU with CSC, that is Common Service Centers, and Department of Post, so that we can use 4.5 lakh CSC centers across the country and 1.5 lakh post offices across the country, which will help the buyers or sellers to giving them training at the remotest places, and the sellers at the last mile, maybe at panchayati level or the cooperative societies, they will be able to get the training for GEM, and they can sell their products. They can approach post office, nearby post offices, and the post offices can collect, they have the facility to collect those products from the remote areas and can reach out to the buyers across the country. So it will be easier for any sellers to sell their products sitting at their own place and sell their products across the country. So these are the few initiatives GEM is taking. And in addition to that, during this COVID period also, GEM has played a very important role in supplying for COVID-19 items. Like we have onboarded all the testing kits like RT-PCR test kits or rapid antigen test kits, ventilators, or all items. And for that COVID, we have made special provisions for these buyers and sellers so that the process of procurement can be made faster and it can reach to any place within a short span of time. So these are the few initiatives we are taking, and we are continuously taking initiatives and coordinating with all the stakeholders, maybe banks and other government departments, to reach to our goal. So we are also making efforts towards Make in India and Atma Nirbhar Bharat, so anybody can onboard and sell their products on GEM. So this is from GEM side. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. You are talking about taking services digitally to the last mile, and that is the ultimate aim of the Government of India and our Honorable Prime Minister. So I am now coming to Mr. Sanjai Kumar. He represents an organization called RailTel Corporation of India. It has the mandate of strengthening the digital connectivity and ecosystem across the country. Sir, how has been your experience of addressing the issue of digital divide mainly? And what has been the strategy of RailTel Corporation of India to making way for self-reliant India and becoming globally competitive? Over to you.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. First question is that how are we basically filling this digital divide gap among the rural and urban community or section of the country. So I think all of you know that railway network is passing through roughly around 6,000 railway stations, and out of which around 5,000 stations, they fall in rural and semi-urban areas. And that way, if we take a radius of around 5 kilometer about these stations, so we cover around 1 lakh villages out of total 6.5 lakhs. So that is the reach of railways, and that is how RailTel is already catering to, we have started working to cater to rural segment. So this is how we are trying to fill this digital gap, digital divide gap. And but there are problems, the challenges which he spoke about. The challenges which we are facing, that there is not much demand in those rural areas, because people, first of all, they don't have devices. Number two, they don't have demand also for access to the internet connectivity or broadband connectivity. So we have a very innovative RailWire program. This is a broadband scheme of RailTel, through which we have a very innovative partnership program in which we partner with the local cable operators or small entrepreneurs of those communities which are falling in those rural areas or semi-urban areas. And then they take us to the customer's place, and then we enable them, make them connected with the internet. In fact, we have recently taken it to the valley also, J&K. We are working in northeast areas like in Mizoram, Tripura, Manipur, where internet connectivity, availability of internet is otherwise very low. So that is one. Now if we are talking here about digital strategy. So I think most of us already having some or the other type of or other stages of the IT strategies. So historically, we have been having CIOs, but I think IT strategy is different from digital strategy. It is something to do with your business model, wherein we need to, it's IT strategy, I think, is a tool which we are using for enabling our internal office working, whereas digital strategy helps us to transform our business, take decisions. And then second thing is that, as one earlier speaker has also spoken about, is that the data center has, our even mobile device is also a data center. And data center should not be, it should be a kind of easy tool so that we can create data center close to the user. And in that direction also, recently we have come out with the expression of interest, wherein we are taking small data centers close to the users. So we have come out an UI wherein we are targeting to establish around 100 plus data centers at these railway stations, which are tier 2, tier 3 towns. And that will help not only to reduce the latency or speed, basically enhance the speed or experience of the customers. It will also lessen the burden of transport of this data all the way from somewhere large cloud data centers, basically in maybe in Mumbai or Hyderabad or in Chennai. So that is another area where RailTel is working. I think digital strategy has to do something with speed, flexibility, efficiency, quality, which we can offer to our customers. So this digital transformation has to happen through digital strategy, and RailTel, with its unique right of way, we have all of you know that we have a very exclusive right-of-way along the railway track. So the reliability of the network is also better. Another important factor is also that when we come into digitalization, that is also becoming important nowadays, that is security. So that has also been taken care of when we implement or plan any digital strategy. But I think we as a customer, because though we are part of digitalization ecosystem, we are also user also. We find that in the market, there are many solution providers who approach us that we can do this, we can do that. So the PSUs, they have to basically, the approach of the service providers who help us to take decisions on digital strategy have to be simple to understand, easy to implement, and the change management, this is the important factor when we decide on any digital strategy. Change management also has to be easy enough so that we can implement it easily. In railways, which are our parent organization also, we have already working on digitalization, and RailTel is one of the major enabler for digitalization in railways. We have started working on like predictive maintenance practices, IoT-based predictive maintenance analytics tools. So those kind of things we have already started, but I think if solution providers come with easy and easily comprehensible solutions, it will be easier for PSUs to take faster decisions in this regard and remain globally competitive. That is all what I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kumar. You differentiated between the IT policy and digital policy adopted by the public sector. And you also very rightly pointed out that since there is a lot of data exchange when we are adopting the digital policy or digital strategy, it has to be in a secured and advanced manner. So we should definitely have a cyber security aspect while we are planning or while we are implementing digital strategy. Now coming to Mr. HP Singh, ED and CIO, Oil and Natural Gas Corporation Limited. Sir, what has been your digital strategy and how have been your organization riding on digital innovation and digitization over the past 2.5 years? How has been your experience in making way for Atma Nirbhar Bharat and remain globally competitive? Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Arpit. Good afternoon to everybody. Everybody knows that what ONGC does. We are an integrated energy company. Primarily, we are in the E&P business. And before coming to the digitization we are, in fact, the way we are doing, I would like to appreciate one or two things what government of India has done for the country, and it is relevant not for the ONGC but relevant for each and every one of us. I am proud to say that government created UPI. They gave a concept of UPI. And today, you know how much transaction is taking place on that? It has crossed $1 billion. So we are proud of that. We are proud of that IT and that services fraternity who have enabled this platform. We are proud again of the GEM portal where Madam is representing that. The transaction on the GEM has crossed 1 lakh crores in 1 year. So those kind of things government has done. And that really makes us proud, in fact. In fact, 2 days back, I was listening Prime Minister. He's not talking about 5G. For him, 5G has become an old thing. He's talking about the 6G. So we all now, all the IT peoples who are in the services, now they have to think that what vision the Prime Minister has and what we are going to gain out of this. Gentlemen, in fact, I don't want to talk much because there are a lot of things which the IT fraternity has done, the service providers have done for the country under this Atma Nirbhar Bharat, and there is a long list, and it will be an endless thing. One thing, but I would like to just highlight here. Do you know how much we are spending on the import of crude oil which we produce? This country is spending around $130 billion on import of crude oil. Just imagine how big the amount is. But at the other end, if I tell you something, I think we will feel pride. How much IT services we are exporting outside? We have exported and we have earned revenue more than $148 billion. So this kind of thing, my IT people who are in the public sector, who are in the private sector, they are all supporting the government. So this kind of thing, we all Indians should feel pride of this. And I would tell you, this journey of digitization, or this journey of the IT field in which we are progressing, this will lead country to the top. It is not the 5 trillion economy, it will be much, much more than what our Prime Minister has envisaged. So with this, now I will come to ONGC. We all know that we are in fact producing 85% of the country's production. We are one of the biggest ENP company in the country. We have in fact started digitization long back. Taking a clue from, in fact, we are using other more like SAP and other things from 2002. We are in fact in the SCADA business from 2007. That was one of the biggest implementation in the country, awarding a contract of more than 450 crores that time. So it was a huge thing. In fact, in 2015, when Government of India came out with a Digital India mission, and before that, we all know that Kyoto Protocol where we had to, the country had certain commitments. So taking a clue from that, we in ONGC, we started paperless project. And the project was called DISA. In fact, in the Hindi, DISA means direction, but if you see the full form, it is digitization, integration, and standardization by harnessing automation. And that was aimed to reduce all the file work. In fact, we all know that in the government sector, unless file moves, nothing moves. So we wanted to get rid of the first thing that in fact, that time it was estimated that around, if we go for the digitization of the file movement, we will be saving cutting of 10,000 trees. So that was a huge, huge thing. And taking a vision from the government, we went for DISA, and this was inaugurated by the Prime Minister of the country. If you go to any ONGC office, you will not find a single file movement. It's all on in the electronic form. It is in the, there's no paper you will find in the ONGC office. So those kind of things we initiated. Now that has helped us to sustain during pandemic. The people who wanted some approval from Pondicherry, they wanted to some approval from the remote places of Assam. They used to just send a click of button, and entire thing was getting approved within a click of button, and then it was being sent back. So those kind of things we incorporated. Now, after pandemic, lot of things have happened in the world. People are not wanting only the data, they want some analytics. They don't want that there is a pile of data. They want some intelligence should come from the data. And the analytics has taken a big leap into this. We in ONGC, we have done the first thing. In fact, earlier, I was just watching the last slide of the earlier presenter. We have got done the maturity assessment of the company, where we are in the digital arena, which are the domain where we are lacking digitization. And we have completely done the maturity assessment domain-wise, and we have identified there are 66 areas where we need digitization. So structurally, we are going to this. We have set up a digital center of excellence. we are going to already we have in fact a IT governance council where we will be regulating all the digitization in the company, and we are then we are going ahead in a very structured way. Out of this 66 technologies, 6 were low-hanging fruits where we thought that it will be like quickly we can get the result. There we have already gone for the RFP, and shortly we will be going to implement this. We have all software, hardware in place. Yes, there are emerging things. Everybody, I think nobody has talked about the cloud thing. Yes, we are in the critical sector. We have certain limitations. We have certain guidelines from the government. We are going for a cloud, but we are going for an on-prem cloud where we could do a lot of analytics, like some restricted data we can pull down, we can do the analytics and we give to our people so that they can work efficiently. So I do not want to go in detail because there are other speakers, so I would like to pause here, and in case somebody has something to ask in detail, they can even talk to me. Absolutely, there is no problem. So thank you very much, Rajat, for giving my perspective into this. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing insights how you are harnessing the power of technology. And you rightly said that while adopting digital strategy, the assessment is a very crucial thing, and we should regularly assess whether the technology is being used for the benefit of end user or not. Coming next to our next panelist from Indian Oil Corporation Limited, Mr. Manish, EDIS. Sir, based on your COVID-19 learnings, how has been your strategy of adopting digitally, remain globally competitive? And what have been some of the digital hotspot innovation you have figured out or implemented at IOCL? Over to you.
Thank you, Arpit, and good afternoon to all the audience here. And we already have a lot of good thoughts coming from my panelists who have spoken to me earlier. And Arpit has fired a direct question about what have been our learnings during the pandemic and how have been in oil, in relevance with regard to the digital adoption and what technologies and self-reliant strategies we have followed over the last 4-5 years, what we have been embarked upon this. To just first answer your question directly in terms of pandemic. Pandemic actually taught us, as far as our companies are concerned, which are largely manufacturing companies, refineries, pipelines, and customer interfacing companies, how to work from home. As Mr. Singh was mentioning earlier, the e-office concept is what got introduced at that very moment of time, which has helped us to survive that period of time. And the next 1.5 years, if I talk purely from the point of customer touch points and the government initiatives which got launched right at the doorstep of pandemic were the PMGKY programs. And that was a cusp when we started our next ERP, which is called the EPIC, Electronic Platform for Indian Oil Customers, which went online. And on entirely by business of LPG, which touches entire households across the country. 50% of that is with us. We could reach them through those means. We could deliver the government subsidies, deliver the 3 free refills through that program entirely without touching them. And we introduced a lot of such initiatives during that period of 1 year, which included paperless deliveries and which led to next generation customer experiences, which have helped us in regaining the market shares and gaining many such points. So pandemic really taught us, companies like us, which need to be there on the operation floors in the refineries, that how to operate that. And that has helped us in today's time when we are able to operate from the offices in a hybrid mode, conducting meetings and the way we want it. And it has cut down on expenses as well. So this has been a great learning. And as far as the Indian Oil is concerned, we have always been, as a front runner in the technology adoption with multiple marquee achievements over the years. As digitization, started transforming businesses world over, Indian Oil chose to proactively join the digital revolution. What started as a modest yet structured digital strategy, this exercise has now evolved into an enterprise-wide digital transformation program impacting each business area in our company. Over the years, our company has made significant strides in our journey to digital excellence. For a company of the size and scale of Indian Oil, which has the most extensive customer touchpoints, a robust digital transformation roadmap becomes imperative. And for this, in order to make the customer experience more agile, efficient, and transparent. So in this regard, if I look at what are the imperatives to remain global competitiveness in the digital technology for the PSUs per se, I'll say the first point is the digital first approach for value creation. This is the first point we always face it. Now the technology has twofold. First is to manage your core business efficiently and as well as enhance customer experience across multiple touchpoints, which is achieved by what we do it by sharp focus on driving value by deploying new set of digital tools, technologies, ensuring that existing digital solutions, which we are already employed, they become more robust and widely adopted. Second point here is to set up IT enablers. Unless we have those enablers in place, we really can't move forward. You know, any digital transformation necessitates that a strong foundation of enterprise infrastructure, which is both scalable and modular to meet the increasing demands of digital tools. At the same time, a robust governance, as many of our other speakers have said, to revamp the IT and digital processes is also mandatory. This is achieved by setting dedicated COEs, as they say, and I represent one such COE in my company. Investment in emerging technologies. This is the main area of focus where we all, as digital PSUs, and we are exploring new emerging technologies to further enhance our digital setup and timely adoption of emerging technologies such as RPA, data lakes, AR, VR, AI platforms, and are the key elements of our digital strategy. In this respect, the automation and the RPA has been given us a lot of traction to the digital PSUs. This has empowered the user teams to automate manual activities and reduce the time spent on mundane repetitive tasks. Automation tools like DevOps have also streamlined the way software development life cycles functions. So these are some of our learnings out of this. The next one is the artificial intelligence, which is being leveraged to solve multiple business problems in our company also. And one such example which we had utilized with large scale during pandemic also was the development of chatbots when we did not have the employees to manage the call centers. So we were able to answer to all the customer queries with regard to their subsidies, their refills through these automated chatbots. The next and the more important where we have really had a lot of success is the machine learning based advanced analytics. And this has been the heart of our digital transformation by enabling multi-use cases such as unit optimization for refinery units, enhanced decision making, and yield maximizations. These are some of the things which we have achieved over a period of last 3 years or so. But the main part which will help us to take it forward are the embedding digital ways of working in our workforce. For this, upskilling the workforce is a key enabler. And this will truly unlock the value of digital. Companies like us are ensuring that their employees are abreast with the latest digital platforms and can leverage digital in their day-to-day jobs. And this we are doing in a big way by engaging larger employee base in digital competitions such as hackathons. We have conducted 2 of them in a company. We are proposing to do some of them on sustainability themes going forward. Involving core business users in implementation of digital solutions and tools. At DCOE, that's what we do. We conceive and then hand over to the business users to actually use them and take it forward and make them responsible for all such tools and activities which we have done. And then we are also empowering our employees by upskilling and trainings. So far as global competitiveness is concerned, this is our views. If the time lets, we can speak also on the self-reliant portion also. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Grover. You talked about adopting digital first strategy. For adopting these kind of strategies, you must have a robust, scalable and agile digital infrastructure, and it comes with its own challenges. So taking this to next panelist, Mr. Sudhanshu Naithani, ED Corporate Digital Transformation and Corporate Technology Management. Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited, BHEL. Sir, what challenges did you face while adopting digital strategy at your company? And how has been your digital transformation journey so far to remain globally competitive? Over to you.
Thank you, Arpit. Very warm good afternoon to all the delegates here and my fellow panelists. The two themes that I read out are self-reliance and global competitiveness. And I'm very proud to represent a company which has enabled the nation to be self-reliant in power over the past 40 years. We have been one of the earliest users of technology in all our operations. In fact, I remember my early days in BHL when we used to have these massive mainframes which used to support our operations. Today, we are a much matured organization in keeping with the technology. If you see the challenges for BHL in respect of the business first, we have been a major in respect of thermal power. We still continue to be nuclear power, hydro, all these areas. But in the era of energy transition, as renewables are coming in to play a bigger and bigger role, we are trying to reinvent ourselves. That process of reinvention now requires IT to play a very big role, which is recognized by our management, and digitalization is one of the core corporate strategies that are being deployed across the company today. For multiple, on multiple horizons. So if I may talk about business, there are areas that we're talking about. If we talk about process improvement, I'll be sharing some anecdotal examples with you in each of these areas. There's the issue of integration of our resources. There's the issue of communication with our workforce. And IT comes in as a very handy tool, very handy tool to do these things very simply. I think we have all heard about the government initiatives like GEM, and I'm very happy to share with you that we have been recognized as one of the stellar performers this year. More than 4,000 crores of our procurement has happened on the GEM platform. We are there both as a buyer, as a seller, and we continue to build further on what we are trying to do on GEM. Similarly, another government initiative like e-Office, which helps us process the files paperlessly, very fast, transparently. Again, very happy to share with you that 100% of file processing in BHL happens through e-Office today. There's no paper movement of files. So these are just some examples where we talk about the use of technology for our process, but internally, as a technology company, we straddle the engineering horizon, we straddle the manufacturing horizon, we also are on the project execution horizon. And when we talk about all these three horizons, the past where we used to be without IT to help us is something which sounds like history. Today, especially after the pandemic, which has shown us what we can do. I mean, again, to share some anecdotal information with you, when we were hit with the lockdown immediately after the first lockdown after the pandemic, as a manufacturing company, the idea of work from home was absolutely unknown to us. But in a very short span of time, just about 2 weeks, we were able to manage 4,500 VPN connections for an executive strength of about 10,000 in the company. We managed to bring on board our entire HR operations, our engineering operations, our finance operations, as well as our quality operations with the help of the VPN, as well as the IT infrastructure that we had. It taught us a lot in respect of deploying security, which used to be a kind of a backroom boy as far as the IT operations were concerned, which was mostly in respect of response to issues. It became a situation where we are now, I would be again very happy to share that not just being ISMS 27,000 compliant, but integrating all the facets of protection, right from the top of the pyramid to the bottom of the pyramid, having an across integration, both vertically as well as horizontally. So that teaching has helped us to ensure that our operations are today much more safe, much more protected, much more resilient. in respect of reaching out to the manufacturing part, which actually is a challenge, the intent now is twofold. First of all, to enable our machine shops with digital information. Gone are the days when people would spread out drawings to do their jobs on individual machines. So the first step towards that was to ensure that the technical information, data sheets, drawings are available to the machine shop operators in the base where they work. The next step that we are taking is the deployment of IoT for a lot of areas like improvement in the availability of machines, predictive maintenance, and as a final step, QTM, quality through management, by deploying the sensor technology as well as the back IT integration that needs to be done in respect to the algorithms. We are also trying to use handheld devices for our quality operations, replacing the log sheets that used to be there, so that the entire quality process becomes online and much more resilient, and also gives us a good database to analyze, improve further, learn from our mistakes in the past. What we are also realizing is that when we are trying to reinvent ourselves, digital helps us in not only putting forth new products, but also adding a layer of digital which adds value to our customers. So for thermal power stations, we already have a product in the market called RMDS, Remote Monitoring Diagnostic System. It's a very interesting product that we have created, and it's already operational at a couple of sites. Basically, you'd all be aware that every power station generates a huge amount of operational data, which continues to get stored there. So what we are doing is that stored data is brought to our servers, where we have designed algorithms based on our experience, our knowledge, which helps in the monitoring of the sets, which helps in the health prediction of the sets, which also helps us in spares management, so that we reduce the downtime of the machines. And eventually, the dream is to ensure that we are able to bring about a much bigger advantage to the customer in respect of operational improvement. There are other products that we are working on in similar lines, where we are adding on to the offerings that we are giving to the customer. The point that I also wanted to mention to you was the outreach to our employees. And in today's day of social media, very quickly we realized that many a time, and I'm sure my fellow panelists would be facing the same dilemma, many a time a rumor starts on WhatsApp and spreads like wildfire through the entire organization. It may not be true, but it has done the damage. By the time you come to do something about it, the damage is already done. So we have created internal applications for communicating with the employees. One such app is already there on the Google App Store, which allows all our employees to connect with the company. It's called My BHL app. So how the what's in it there for me factor is addressed by the fact that practically all the employee-related information is available on that platform, and also whatever we want to share with the employees is available as a single source of truth, rather than having these kind of situations, ugly situations, where sometimes rumors takes the better of things. There are challenges in respect of the integration of the software platforms that we're using. A plethora of business applications, engineering applications, and our own in-house applications that we're using. And the next step in our digitalization journey is going to be basically trying to integrate all these things together, manage our data centers more efficiently, and also at the same time to come out with more applications on which we are working right now, where the frontiers today that are facing us are in respect of our defense business, in respect of our transportation business, platforms which are based on IoT, which are based on AI and ML. And I'm sure we're going to be bringing out these products to the industry pretty soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Naithani. And you have made a very valid point that integration of not only applications but data should be there for data-driven governance in any of the public sector company. Not only public sector but any businesses. Data should speak to each other. It should not be in the silos to make better decision making in any of the organizations. Coming next to Mr. Tamal Acharya, Business Head, Government Business, AMD India. Mr. Tamal, while we are discussing about making India a $5 trillion digital economy by 2025, many PSUs are embarking on their digital transformation journey in adopting new age technology. How AMD has been involved in the digital transformation journey of Indian PSUs? Over to you.
So thank you, Arpit, and thank you everyone. Thank you everyone. So 5 trillion economy, correct. And that we are very proud. By 2025, we are going to achieve 5 trillion economy, and if I am sure we are going to achieve it. And if we are able to achieve it, we will be the third largest economy of the world. So if you talk about 5 trillion economy, India government taken a very enthusiastic step. Out of 5 trillion, 1 trillion could be come from agriculture and resource. 1 trillion come from manufacturing. Over enthusiastic process, we see a lot of Make in India initiatives and all these things. And 3 trillion would be come from the service sector. And apart from the service sector helping, IT and the cutting edge new technology will be help you to achieve 1 trillion from the new process technology. And we have heard about all these things. That is artificial intelligence, machine intelligence, IoT, robotics, cloud computing. And about of the 50% of 1 trillion would be the new process technology. One of my panelists says digitization is not only about hardware or software, it's a process. So this is a process changing economy, and if I say I think it's something echoes is going on. Okay. So the process technology, it will be changing in financial process, agricultural process, and you will see lot more supply chain process, it will be happen in going forward. And definitely we have seen the post-pandemic scenario. Before pandemic scenario, in last almost 30 years, our GDP average is close to 6.5 to 7. And in 2019, we see first time Indian GDP coming in negative growth. And then we understand we have to come in the self-reliance process. And we have to be Atma Nirbhar. And we see a lot of change in after 2019 second half. Government has changed their process technology, supply chain management, revenue systems. At the same time, we see leaps and bounds of our PSUs. They have taken much more new initiatives for the digitization, for the connectivity, process of AI, ML, how things are going on. And as far as if you see AMD is concerned, we are working continuously on this process technology. If you talk about, we are making digitization very much available for every user of the country in terms of on-prem computing and cloud computing. We are enabling the supercomputing for the high-end research. Definitely it's help on the pandemic. At the same time, you will get digital and analytic things. We are improving the healthcare sector with our GPU imaging system, ushering the new data center technology with big data and machine learning technology. We are encouraging the STEM education system to our student for the virtual reality. And I have heard everything from GEM. As an IT guy, I have seen the importance of GEM in the IT system, and they are doing fabulous. I have heard RailTel. We know what is RailTel, Rail's value in our entire system, in the entire ecosystem. We have heard ONGC, IOCL, how they are talking about digitization. And I can assure them, believe you me, we are working with you day and night for your data security, for your openness, for your performance, and I believe AMD business and the customer satisfaction. As a company, we are working with you and proud to work with you and the very top solution. Please come with us with your problem. We are ready to partner with you and come up with a new solution which can give you, leverage you to more productivity and going to achieve 5 trillion economy more faster. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tamal, for sharing your thoughts very quickly. Now, coming to the last panelist of this panel discussion, Mr. Himanshu Singhal, founder and CEO of inMorphis. Himanshu, how can inMorphis enable PSUs in the digital transformation journey of PSUs in India? What are your innovative solutions that can enable the digital transformation journey of PSUs? Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Arpit. And first of all, I must congratulate and thank you for the hard work done by eminent people sitting out here, from Manju ma'am to Sanjai sir to HP sir to Manish sir and Naithani sir. I think your vision, in last 10 years we have seen the PSUs have done a great job creating value, wealth and the jobs for this economy and country, and we are building a great nation. So if we look at the PSU, definitely they have adopted technology, and we hear out lot of great aspects from everyone among the earlier speakers. I feel we have done great, but there are a lot of other things we can do better. And I think, yeah, vision is already there, and you already calling out the service provider coming and talking to you, giving the solutions, taking the journey forward. I think if I look at any solution, three aspects of it, right? People, process and technology. I will skip the fourth part right now, I'll talk about it, but three things. People, right? The experience to our customers, the experience to our employees is the top priority. To do that, it's a consumerization. The experience, today we use a lot of other apps. We order something and then it is on our door, right? We don't know who is packing, who is delivering, right? So consumerization of the experience, whether to the customers and whether to the employees, will actually increase the efficiency and the revenue, right? The wealth and value of the organization. Second is the processes. I think PSUs were such a large scale, lot of processes have been simplified, but lot of other things to do, right? So for these processes, if I look at it, and I must say, earlier speakers talk about that change management, modernization, how fast we can do this. So we use a platform called ServiceNow, and ServiceNow can do, it is a low-code, no-code platform, and platform of platform, which can integrate all the silos department, whether IT, HR, finance, customer services. It bring all the departments together, and on top of it, we create workflows. What do we mean by that? In 1 week, just to give you an example, for our national bank, we rolled out 700 applications in just 6 months. Was it possible earlier? No. But using this low-code, no-code application and integrating all our departments together, breaking the silos. And another speaker talk about data model. So common service data model, CSDM, is the another thing which we should achieve. I think that's about processes. And finally, the product. We talked about globalization. Adopting the best-in-class technology is very important, which has proven. So I know we worked with General Electric, we worked with Shell, we worked with telcos, lot of them, thousands of them, to build this common service data model, modern applications, bringing everything together, whether IT, whether OT, whether factories, whether our HR operation, finance operation, our customer services, bringing all the things together is most important aspect. And on the globalization, I must tell, I must say, HP sir, give an energy to, it's not about only 5 trillion economy, we may go up to 50 trillion economy. And at 75 years of independence, and we are moving towards, 100 towards 100 years. While I was in the speaker zone, I wrote something about it in Hindi, and I will try to close my point here. हम आज जहां खड़े हैं वहां से कल कुछ सुनहरा दिखाई देता है. अमृत काल की वेला है, स्वर्ण युग का ध्वज सजा है. चलो चले बनाने वही सोने की चिड़िया, फिर दिखलाने दुनिया को हम थे प्रथम, हम हैं प्रथम और हम रहेंगे प्रथम. With this, I close my topic. Thank you.
Thank you, Himanshu, for sharing your thoughts. And we have already exhausted the time for this panel discussion, but I would take 5 minutes more to have the closing words, final words by each of the panelists in just 30 seconds, please. Please mind the time. So coming directly to Manju ma'am. Ma'am, your learnings and advice for PSUs while embarking on digital transformation journey. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, I was getting the appreciation for GEM from all the panelists. So thank you for that. And I think I would tell you that during the achievement of GEM, like 1 lakh crore of transaction on GEM, which was major, the PSUs have very big contribution for that 1 lakh crore transactions. So thank you for all the PSUs to come on board on GEM. And PSUs are coming as buyers also, as sellers also. So I think I will request all the PSUs to utilize GEM portal for more and more purchases and selling also. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Sanjay Kumar, over to you.
So I will once again reiterate my earlier words that we not only have to adopt, we have to adapt also, and then focus on change management, because change management for PSUs is very important. Unless we expedite it, it is very difficult for us having so many C's, like I think all of you know CAG, CVC, CBI, all those are there. So those are the challenges. So we have to effectively adopt, adapt and manage the change management. That will help us, and it is helping us, all PSUs. I'm sure we will do it one day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kumar. Mr. HP Singh.
We are a consumer of the services whatever our peers here they provide. I would just like to say that digital transformation is now not an option. It is a compulsory thing now all the organizations has to do. And for doing that, the way all the public sectors are moving ahead, they all are moving ahead with different perspectives. Their priorities are different, and accordingly they are moving, and it is a right thing. What I would like to say that whosoever is a service provider, please join us. Please join us, and so that this is propelled in the public sector, which is going to create a lot of value to the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Singh. I'll come to Mr. Grover.
Yeah, my final thoughts, in fact, I'd like to revolve around self-reliance. In fact, that was a topic which I thought I'll take it in the end. I'd like to highlight, 5 major focus areas which I find are going to help us. First is to reduce the gap between business needs and technology. And that is through introduction of tools and solutions that redefine ways of working and connect directly to the business users. Some of them were highlighted by my panelists, self-service dashboards, no-code, low-code platforms, things like that. Second most important, which I feel, is the established digital thought leadership. This is very important in companies like ours. Strong top-down enterprise-wide focus on digital awareness. And that is what we have done in Noel. We have created a digital think tank in the form of iDrive, which is responsible for driving all the digital initiatives across organization. Thirdly, it's the develop internal capabilities. And you have to harness the power of organizational manpower. As they were saying, the change management. And we have made our employees integral part of our digital transformation journey. And we have, as I mentioned earlier, hackathons, young officers enclaves, BI tools, all those things we have done to make our people part and parcel of the digital journey. And we also launched 2 versions of reverse mentoring, wherein we are young officers are trying to mentor our seniors on digital informations. And thirdly and fourthly, strengthen technology foundations. And in this, as somebody mentioned, there are 3-4 things, which is introduction of the hybrid cloud setup, revamping cybersecurity guidelines, moving towards IT/OT governance, and securing plant operations. Lastly, but not the least, is the focus on data protection. This we are trying and should be achieved by taking data encryptions, data backups, archivals, and things like that. So for self-reliance purposes, these are our focus areas. And tell you in just one last line, Indian Oil in the last 3 years have identified about 127 such initiatives which were done. And we are moving ahead with a new foundation done with larger, in the next 2 years, many more such initiatives are coming through in all the areas of function. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Grover. Mr. Naithani.
Thank you, Arpit. I would like to throw a very radical thought today. As PSUs, we represent a very sizable group of people who have knowledge, who have experience, who have innate informations, processes. And also, we are purchasers of a very large magnitude, but in silos. So somewhere our dependence on the suppliers of hardware, software is not being probably utilized to the extent where we could, if we could do it together, we would not be driven by the suppliers, but we would define our solutions as we require them and force the suppliers to give it to us the way we want to. Today, the movement towards the cloud is fraught with a lot of challenges, and it's coming on as a kind of a push towards us. Can we collaborate together? Can we bring about a kind of a thought process where we can, because our processes are same, our purchase processes are same, we can actually collaborate together to become a formidable buyer who can actually intelligently exercise the requirements that we have. Also, that collaboration can be extended to probably putting out even, every organization like this has their own homegrown applications for communication, for business. And, two of our major manufacturing units have their homegrown ERPs today. We do not depend upon a bought-out ERP. Can we come together and do these kind of things? Because that is where I would feel. Otherwise, you see the situation today where if you are reliant on a particular set of, a particular business software, you just cannot do anything on your own. You will do what you are bidden to do, whether it's hardware, whether it's software, whether it's movement toward cloud. You'll have to do what they tell you to do, and at a cost at which they tell you to do. It's a big thought. Vision is too big a word for me, but can we collaborate like this? It'll take some time, it'll take some doing, but I think true self-reliance and global competitiveness will probably come out of these kind of initiatives. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Naithani. We are almost at the last leg of the discussion. So what Mr. Naithani has said, collaboration, so I'll take this to Mr. Tamal. If you can just talk about collaboration in 30 seconds, how do you think collaboration can drive newer innovation in the public sector's companies of India?
So, correct, Arpit. So, we have heard a lot many good things, and our PSUs are the torchbearer of our industry. And at the same time, in the digitization process or the change management process, they need more number of computes. And I have heard already the security part. That's a real pain for all of us right now. At the same time, TCO, reduction of TCO, digitization is good. At the same time, you have to see your TCO part, reduction your TCO. Then carbon footprint, again, that's a problem for the biggest in the IT industry. The carbon footprint is increasing, TCO is increasing. As a part of a technology company, I can assure all the PSUs, we are continuously working for make your journey smoother. If you have any tougher solution, please come to us. We can make your journey easy. If you need more compute power, if you are want to reduction in your TCO, carbon footprint, we are ready to collaborate and give a solution from AMD's perspective. And again, I mean to say AMD means business, and continuously we are working for you so you can go to your home and have a good sleep. You don't have a sleepless night for your data security. We are working for you from our process. Thank you.
Thank you, Tamal. And Himanshu, last comments by you on the collaboration part.
Sure, thank you. Absolutely, as everyone said, we are here, sir. Let's work together, let's collaborate, make something so special out of this geography that West look towards East rather than we look towards West. And most of the people when I meet, they say that India is an experimental bed. I think India is an innovation bed. The fintech companies, what we have done here, I think must replicate that in PSUs and make it a global organization coming from India and helping national building and a good value creation. And we are here. We are knocking your doors. We will be working together to make it possible, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. With these thoughts, I conclude today's panel discussion, and I thank each of the panelists from the core of heart for participating and sharing your thoughts in the National PSU Summit themed on digital strategy for New India at 75. Thank you so much.